Welcome back, Nerd Squad. My name is Rory Destroya, and this is Top 10 Nerd. Pride Month may be over, but that doesn't mean that representation isn't a big deal anymore. A lot of these villains you may have never heard of, so we are trying to change that by bringing LGBT villains to the front to show you that no matter how evil you may be, you're allowed to love whoever you want. Just maybe tone it down with the evilness. So let's take a look at the top 10 supervillains who are gay, and this is part 2. In the number 10 spot, we have Dez Travis. Alan Scott is not the only Lantern who prefers the company of other men. First appearing in Sinestro number 1, Dez Travis eventually becomes a member of the Sinestro Corps, but he was born a lower class of Assassin Templars and had a secret affair with a higher ranking member named Bray Rel. Of course, the two are found out and the relationship is destroyed when Bray is arranged to marry a high-ranking woman, showing not only the suffering of a gay relationship where it is not approved of, but also the suffering of relationships between different levels of class. Coming in at number 9 is Copperhead. This is a bit of a tricky but rather interesting one that I thought I would throw in there. The Copperhead we are talking about is Nathan Price, who was debuted in Teen Titans number 56. He cut ties to his family rather roughly, and by this I mean he killed his younger sibling and threatened his parents with a knife as he headed out the door. On the streets he worked as a male prostitute, but he only solicited himself to other men. Of course he killed them and robbed them afterwards, so one can't say this was any act of affection per se. We can't humanize all the gay villains now, can we? Next at number 8 we got Catman. Catman was initially introduced as a villain in Detective Comics number 311, and he was a jungle cat trapper that turned to crime when he got bored of hunting. Much later after his debut, writer Gail Simone confirmed his bisexuality on her Tumblr and promised to show it off more in his next story. Sure enough, in 2014's New 52, she upheld her promise, and he was depicted as flirting with both men and women. But what I want to see more of is that awesome tiger he once had as a pet. Totally King Ezekiel there. In the number 7 spot is Knockout. We've already featured Scandal Savage in our other part and would be hugely at fault if we left out the other half of this girl-on-girl duo. Knockout was first shown in Superboy Volume 3 number 1. She is a female Fury from Apocalypse, a warrior of Darkseid, and works undercover as a stripper at a club called Boom Boom Room. She was in a relationship with Scandal, but she wasn't exactly sure of the rules because she was never taught on Apocalypse, so she slept with Deadshot during this time. Not exactly pleasant for Scandal, but the two were able to move past it. Yes, even villains can communicate and work through their relationship problems. Coming in at number 6 we have Captain Stingaree. Carl Courtney first appeared in Detective Comics number 460. He was always the black sheep out of his quadruplet siblings, so you can imagine the struggles he went through realizing that, oh hey, I'm gay. He was in a closeted relationship with Cavalier, who is featured on part 1 of our list. Sadly, this relationship was taken advantage of by Black Lightning, who blackmails the couple, and I thought he was supposed to be the superhero here. Next up at number 5 is Fauna. Fauna Faust was a member of the new and old girls Strike Force Cobra, who first appeared in the pages of Outsiders Volume 2 number 16. She was in a relationship with another woman, Cyanide, and had joked at one point in battle with the Outsiders that the two of them would have made quite the threesome with Outsider member Looker. Sadly, Cyanide was taken away from Fauna in that same battle. I think that calls for a little revenge. Up next at number 4 is Superia. Deidre Wentworth was debuted in Captain America number 386. She is the leader of a group of supervillains she dubs the Femazons, genetically altered and superior women with the goal of sterilizing all men, whom they have great disdain for. Yeah, so she's not exactly the greatest example of a lesbian out there, but her storyline of sterility seed rockets and trying to super feminize Captain America and Paladin are extremely entertaining. In the number 3 spot we have Nyssa Raatko. Debuting in Detective Comics number 783, Nyssa is the half-sibling of Talia al Ghul, and we all know that evil runs in that family. But unlike her half-sister, who seduced Batman, Nyssa has different preferences in partners, at least in CW's Arrow. There, she is romantically involved with Sarah Lance, aka White Canary. Don't you hate it when you fall for the enemy? Coming in at number 2 is Destiny. We've already had Mystique, so we're now paying respect to the other half of this long-standing pair. Irene Adler was introduced in Uncanny X-Men number 141. And was meant to be Mystique's lover and biological parent of Nightcrawler, with Mystique taking on the form of a male for the act of conception. Like I said in the part 1, this was a big no-no with the Comics Code Authority. Violence and killing was alright with them, but apparently love was too much to handle. And finally, in the number 1 spot, we've got Loki. Marvel's Norse god of mischief first made an appearance in Venus number 6, and authors have had a lot of fun with his sexuality because his personality makes it so easy. In Young Avengers, he was depicted as pansexual, and when Al Ewing was in charge of his writing, he wrote the character as bisexual, as well as gender fluid, meaning he wasn't constricted to male or female stereotypes when it came to appearance or behavior. We're just glad Marvel left the whole sex with the horse thing out. Have fun googling that one. So those were the top 10 supervillains who are gay, and this was part 2. Let me know in the comment section down below which one of these villains you're gonna check out next. And I mean in the comics, get your head out of the gutter please. My name is Roy Destroya, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another nerdy list.